Hey everybody, I'm Dave Salentano with guitartricks.com, and today we're going to learn 4 essential blues licks. Before we get started, make sure you subscribe to the channel and ring that notification bell. And while you're at it, hit that like button. It would really help out. Now back to the lesson. The first 2 of these essential blues licks are out of the Oblique King box. So let's check that out. And we're going to do these in the key of A as well. So the Oblique King box is the upper part of one of the pentatonic patterns. We're only going to play the 3rd, 2nd, and 1st string. First note we're going to do is 3rd string, 9th fret. Then the 2nd string is 8th and 10th fret. 1st string is 8th and 10th fret as well. And then it's a really good idea to know where the root note is in this little 5-note box pattern. It's always going to be on the 2nd string. Play with your ring finger. No matter what key you do this box in, that note has to be on the root note of the key you're in. So we're in the key of A, 2nd string at the 5th, 10th fret is A. Okay, so the 5-note box pattern looks like this. And it's a good idea to end on the root note. That'll give you a sense of resolve. Okay, now the first lick we're going to do is a call and response idea, which means the first part of the lick will sort of ask a question, and then the second part responds back, kind of an answer. Okay, so the first part we're going to do goes like this. Vibrato that last note, and then we're going to answer it back with this. Okay, you hear it sort of has a dialogue going back and forth. Okay, first one. Just like that. And imagine you're hearing this in the background. Okay, very nice. And what we're going to do is actually do a call and response lick with the next box pattern. And we're going to combine them. That make like a nice little solo idea right there. In a few minutes, we'll take a look at that. Okay, so let's detail this one. Starts on the 2nd string, 10th fret with your 3rd finger. Then make a quick jump to the 1st string, 10th fret with the same 3rd finger. Bend that note a whole step up. Come back down and pick it without being bent. And then quickly we play the 8th fret on the 1st string to 10th fret 2nd string. And add some vibrato. Now a lot of the blues guys will cram notes. So in other words, they'll play kind of relaxed and gently and slowly, and then they'll play a few notes real quick. So that's kind of what we're doing here. We play the first notes slowly, then the last 2 real quick. And for getting the speed out of it, I'm just doing 2 quick upstrokes. And add that nice bluesy vibrato that you must have to make this style believable. Okay, and then the answer part of that lick, or the response, we're going to slide the 9 on the 3rd string with your middle finger, grab 8 on the 2nd string, back to 9 on the 3rd, and then 8 on the 1st string with your 1st finger, and just bend it about a 1/4 step and then stop. Okay. Okay, there you go. That's 2 little ideas put together to make one little phrase, a call and response phrase in the Oblique King box. Now for the second blues lick, let's try something that's not a call and response, but just a great sounding lick that you hear in a lot of blues songs, okay? It goes like this. Wow, a lot of stuff there. Sounds kind of familiar. A lot of blues guys play that kind of lick. The way it's done correctly, though, which is actually the harder way to do it, we're going to start with the 2nd string 10th fret twice, jump to the 1st string 10th fret, bend it up a whole step, and then the next note is actually the 8th fret bent a whole step with your 1st finger. That's really hard to do. Okay, I've got 9-gauge strings on this Strat, and it's still kind of tough to do. The way around that is, instead of bending the 8 a whole step, most of my students are challenged by that. You really got to bend it far, and it definitely builds up your callus, makes your tip of your finger a little sore. Instead of playing the 8 up a whole step, what I'm actually doing in this lick for you folks is playing the 9th fret first string, bending it a half step. So I'm going. The idea is you want that second bend to go up to the pitch of the 10th fret first string unbent. So we want that sound. Or if you can get your 8th fret to do it. And then we'll come back down to 8 unbent to the 10 on the 2nd real quick. And then we bend the 8 again 2 half steps. Actually, quarter steps would be a little better. Then 10 on the 2nd string. And if you want, you could end there, or you could actually jump up to the 1st string, bend that a whole step, and slide out. Okay, so a little bit longer than the first lick we did. Here it is slowly. Okay, very cool. Now let's move on to the third idea. This one's in what we're going to call the B.B. King box, okay? And everybody, even rock guitar players and country players, play out of this box position. We're still in the key of A. And this is the neat thing about this box pattern is that it's the same geometric shape, just 2 frets to the right on your fretboard. So we were on frets 8 and 10 primarily on the 1st and 2nd strings, 9 on the 3rd for that first box pattern. The second box pattern, we're just going to move up 2 frets, so we're on the 11th fret 3rd string, 10, 12 on the 2nd, 10, 12 on the 1st, and then you must know where the root note is. Okay, we're in the key of A, and the A in that pattern is the 10th fret 2nd string. Okay, it's actually the same note we played in the first box pattern that was fretted by the 3rd finger. Now when you're in this higher box pattern, a lot of people affectionately call it the B.B. King box. Okay, the 1st finger now plays the A root note. And another thing that's worth mentioning too is each of these patterns has the same geometric shape, but you have to have a different vocabulary of licks in each one. You don't want to play this kind of lick in this higher box because it actually will sound incorrect and be out of key. Sounds great, but we're not in the key of A anymore, okay? If you hear that, see if you end on the A, okay, that makes it sound like you're in the right key. So now that we have the box pattern down, okay, we're going to try a new lick, which goes like this. Okay, there's their call and response. Okay, listen how the first one sounds. Bending the 2nd string, 12th fret up a half or whole step. You could do either one. They both sound kind of equally good. And then we end on the A with the sweet, tasty vibrato. And then we respond back with this lick, which is a slide to the 11 on the 3rd, grab 10 on the 2nd, back to 11 on the 3rd, then 12 on the 2nd, gets a half or a full step bend. If you're playing over the A chord, probably the full step bend would sound a little better. Okay, so here's the first one. Okay. Now, check this out. Take a little detour for 2 seconds here, and then we'll get the 4th and final lick here. If we combine those 2 we just learned in this upper blues box with the 2 call and response licks from the first box, sounds like this. See how they kind of go together? It actually sounds kind of neat to do the high one first, then the low one. Okay, like this. Next. Pretty cool, huh? Now let's check out the 4th and final lick, which goes like this, still out of the upper box pattern. Okay, this one goes. There's certain areas in that lick where you can pause or speed it up. Okay, check out this. Maybe hold on that for dramatic effect and then go. Or you could play it a little more together. And pause on the other bend. Okay? So that one's sliding up to 11 on the third string, to 10 on the second, and then we jump up to 12 on the first, give it a full bend. Okay, that's a great way, a dramatic way of starting a solo too. Then come down to the same 12, but this time on the first string unbent. Back to the 10th fret. Bend the 12 on the second up a whole step. And keep it there. This is tricky. This is called an oblique bend. When you bend the string up, hold it and add a note on a higher string with your pinky or another finger. Okay, you want to keep it up like that. Kind of has a little bit of a country sound. And then back down to the 10 on the second string. Okay, so the first part, walking down. All right, I hope this gave you some new ideas and insights. I'll see you soon. What other tips would you like to see here on this channel? Leave a comment and let me know. And be sure to check out guitartricks.com for more in-depth step-by-step lessons.